Everyone loves some juicy SY softball hecky. It will only happen on Chronicles with Hank. Everyone's waiting for the next episode. It will only happen when we are in the car. Carpool Chronicles, Carpool Chronicles, Carpool Chronicles, Carpool Chronicles with Hank.
Deals is a high! Hank first pitch!
And we are back for episode, what number is this, Hank?
6.
Episode 6. And as you see, our guest in the back seat, Edmund, the Phenom Beta.
Let's go, boys.
I hope you all enjoyed the new jingle. We've been working on that, and hopefully that it's an earworm and it's stuck in your head for the rest of your life, because I can't get it out of my head. But before we unpack, and we have a lot to unpack this week, as you all know, I just want to thank our sponsors real quick. And this sponsor portion is not like, just fast forward. There's some real legit stuff. First and foremost, I know you all see the ads and you're probably just tuning out, but our good friend Sammy Estes, what team is he on? In YMSL? Purple Cobras. And he played you. He had a big hit against you yesterday.
He had the big hit, yep.
Yeah, you kind of pitched him like a loser, I heard. But our good friend Sammy, as we all know, he heads and runs, he spearheads UCEF, and they came up with an amazing concept. I just wanted to quickly tell you what it is. It's the tab card. Here's a tab card. Now, everyone, you, your wife, anyone, they shop in grocery stores all the time. You load money onto your debit card, or you link it to your debit card, and you shop in stores that you shop in anyway, and the school that your kid goes to, each store gives like 10% or 6%. You'll see on the website the stores that you get, and it goes straight to your kid's tuition. So you're buying groceries anyway, thousands of dollars, may as well get it to your tuition. You could actually probably have a significant chunk off your kid's tuition. It's actually brilliant. I don't know if you ever heard what he's doing, but everyone should definitely sign up to this. It's called the Tab Card. Here's the card, and you'll hear more information about that soon. That's number 1. So thank you so much to you guys, and also brilliant concept. Number 2, our good friend Meyer Casson has this website called theohos.com. There's designer sunglasses. Next episode, I was told we were promised some amazing sunglasses for us to wear. Edmund, I'm sorry you didn't get a pair because just didn't come in time.
All good.
But go on the website theohos.com and get 20% off with the promo code SAM20 on theohos.com. There's 2 more. We'll get to this show real quick. Third we have from Bracelets and Bands. I have a few samples they gave me. Listen, you can get your wife. You're playing softball all Sunday morning. I promise she deserves it. And whatever else you probably did wrong, your wife deserves it. Some tennis bracelets. This is a 12-carat. Good stuff. Gorgeous, gorgeous goods. Earrings and bracelets. And I just got my wife and I'll get it real soon. I can't wait to get it. But I got my wife a Eternity band. Exciting stuff. Great stuff.
I just booked some earrings for my wife.
Is that official?
I think so.
Is it official?
It might be.
Everyone reach out to our good friend Jack Rubin Beebe. As you saw in the intro, Jack Beebe is the head of creative. So that's the first sale.
It's official.
It's official. Mabruk, Jack Beebe.
Mabruk, Jack.
Unbelievable. I mean, Mabruk Hank. Mabruk Mrs. DeWeck. Mrs. Chronicle, they call her now. And finally, our good friends at G&G Realtors. There's some amazing summer rentals for you last-minute people still available. And there's also 217 Elmwood, new listing on the block. Hit up my mom, Milo, Sutton. Really good price, 4-bedroom, 3-bath in the heart of Oakhurst. Anyway, that wraps up the sponsorship portion. And now I think we're ready to get into the show.
Let's go.
So, Hank, how do you want to lead off today's show?
I like... After every single show, we have a lot of viewership, and we get feedback through texts, through the YouTube comments, and it's great because we're able to take all those comments and mold the show into something special, more and more special each and every episode. In the past week, we've been getting some positive feedback, some negative feedback. I want to do a new segment in every single episode, sharing the relevant feedback that we get from our fans, and we'll even mention your name, if you want. But
even if you don't want to mention names, this is
even if you don't want,
it's a no holds barred format, and
but we want to hear from you. And if you care enough to comment on our show, you will be featured on the show if you're saying something relevant and deserving of it.
So listen, like you said, a lot of positive comments we got, but usually the negative ones are the ones that stick out the most because they usually pierce the hardest. It's so I took the liberty to print a thread of text that were really aimed towards me. Yes. And are we allowed to say who sent this text?
Let's not say. We'll leave that out. But I think from the context of the words,
I'm just going to read it.
Written.
I
think people will understand.
Edmund, if you can guess who it is, by all means.
I see this yet. I'm very excited.
Okay, so I'm going to read this right now. I listened to 18 minutes, to be honest, of the Uri episode, but Sammy spoke for 14 minutes and 30 seconds of it before I had to mute and listen to the Calm app for 45 minutes just to get back to normal. Okay. He needs to be the Norman talk when relevant, but I guess when relevant, but most of the content needs to come from Hank and guest. My feedback for Sammy is to be the host, not the talent. Lead the combo, ask the questions, and get out of the way. He talks too much. No one cares to hear about his 3 years in YMSL, where he was the second most important player named Sammy Sutton. That's pretty true, actually. Sammy heard about our chat and goes, "Oh, it's exactly like the one chat that we had with DSAS."
So that's which chat is that?
Talking Heads, remember?
Now, what chat is he talking about?
Oh, so he's obviously talking about that Cyclones chat. So it narrows down to 10 people
there
or
you
so.
Go. Take your guess.
Yeah. He saves his platform so we can hear stories how Sammy Sutton cleated Mo Haber.
Oh my God.
Text. So now
and Rant.
Hey, listen. I take all the criticism. As you can see, I really don't care. I read it live on air. Doesn't really bother me too much. There's definitely what to take from that.
Is there truth to that, Sam?
So there's some truth to it, and I will tell you, I definitely talk too much. That's one of my faults in life. But sometimes my talking is necessary when I feel like there's some dead air, but definitely understood, and definitely will take it into consideration as we record. And you'll see this episode, hopefully, I am, I talk less and I'll let Hank and the talent talk more. That being said, the M&S Talking Heads chat was definitely ahead of its time, and definitely before the SY Cyclones chat, and everything that you guys talk about in there, the whole softball world, we had the same thing. There was a little more guys in there, actually. I think you were in it at one point. 15, 20 guys. It was nonstop, 365 days of softball talk. Listen, a lot of times when people have their chats, they think they're the most important. I get it. We thought the same thing. But you don't have to get so offensive about it. Your chat is important. We love you. I know there's fantasy baseball in that chat with YMSL guys, and it's awesome. I know it's awesome, and I'm not taking anything away. And I definitely will shut my mouth, and I'll let you guys talk about whatever you want to talk about. And anything else I should unpack with that?
I think that's it. And again, we're encouraging listeners to speak up. Tell us. Reach out to any of us. Me or Sam.
Are you really not going to say who wrote that text?
No.
Edmund, are you going to say?
I will not say.
What's your guess?
I cannot guess because I actually saw the Calm app message in the chat.
Why are you so scared of this individual? Is my question.
Not scared.
I feel like you're both walking on eggshells because you're scared of this guy.
We will definitely not be walking on eggshells in this.
I am not scared of him.
Episode.
So you're not scared of him, yet you won't reveal who said it.
It's Rechilas.
Is it Rechilas if he sent it in a public chat and you told him that you're forwarding it?
I was already over on Rechilas,
so say it.
I already sent it to you.
So say it.
No, I can't do that. I think the people...
With all due respect, you are a complete loser for not saying who this is. And you know what, Edmund?
We know it's coming out eventually.
We brought you on...
Sam, you could say who it is.
I don't have to.
It doesn't matter who it is.
Okay, anyway.
Who it is.
He's protecting you, obviously. You have some dirt on him. And Edmund, I guess, is just a pussy. I don't have to tell you. It's okay. All right, whatever. Let's get on with the show.
Let's do it.
I'll give you a hint. We'll be talking about this guy later on in the show.
Yes, we will.
Well, so.
Yes, we will.
Okay.
Let's do it.
All right, let's do it as right. Let's go next. Okay, so now we're gonna do the YMSL roundup. This is gonna be more of the Hank and Edmund part of the show, and you guys were there. You guys saw it. There's a lot of smoke that happened this week.
Oh yeah.
And I guess we'll start with the big matchup that everyone was waiting for. The number 1 and number 2 seeds. They went head to head. It was the Sabon 12 Commandments against the Maxi D-led Big Red Machine. And from what I heard, there was fisticuffs, there was fights, there was a sweep, and take it away, Hank and Edmund.
So usually when two great teams go up against each other, you think that the top headline would be how great the games were. They were actually great games and very tight games, to say the least. But that was not the headline in these two games. I think right when they started in the first couple of innings, they had a huge altercation.
First inning.
It was the first inning of the first game. First inning of the first game. We'll say all the names because it's out there anyway. I think it's on video. I think Alco was in a rundown. And,
So from what I heard, obviously I wasn't there, but I did hear that Nate B and Louis Patesh were in a rundown with Alco, third to home. And
was it on triple, a home run?
I don't know. I don't know the exact details, but long story short, it was a rundown.
No, let's say the whole story.
Okay, say the whole
So
story.
basically,
Short story long.
So basically, Navy got into Alco's face. He was very excited that he caught the speedster in between third and home.
I heard it was a hard tag as well. It wasn't just any tag. It might have been a little hard.
I mean, we've been around Navy for a long time.
Yeah,
So it's not anything new with Navy.
So I did my research. A couple of guys were saying that first he tagged him softly, and then he tagged him hard. Like he was very excited about the tag.
So you say your side of the story, and then I'll say
and then he went over him, like looking down on him.
Okay.
And I also
Heat in the moment, these things happen.
I heard.
That's Navy, though. That is Navy.
I mean, you have to know where it comes from also. Okay, get over it. If that's all that happened, that shouldn't be escalating to anything else.
Right, but one thing that's being left out is I heard Alco actually tried to get up and Nate B gave him a little bump and sent him back down. This is what I heard.
Okay, that's like Joel Embiid.
That's what I heard. He stood over him, gave him the full "let's go" half fist bump and all. You know how Nate B does.
Again,
that.
that's Navy's goods.
And
what happened after
Alco's
that?
the nicest guy in the league. So
what happened after that?
Very crazy to even think. A guy like Alco does nothing wrong and is the sweetest.
Alco plays with fire.
He plays with fire.
He plays with fire. That's Alco. But what happened after that? I think so. Our executive producer Maxi Deed tried defending his teammate and he ran towards the altercation.
Yes. Am I allowed to interject
at high
over
speed?
here?
Sure.
Yeah, go ahead.
I heard he was removed from the YMSL committee chat.
Wow!
Because, and that's, I don't know if you know this information, Hank. Removed
wild.
from the YMSL committee chat because they considered him impartial, which means there probably will be suspensions issued. Maybe he will suspend. But the question is, and Sabon brought it up to me when I was talking to him privately, if the umpires on the field didn't throw anyone out on the field, how could you issue a suspension afterwards? Yeah, it was on video. I get it, but it just leads to the question. If the umpires didn't feel suspension worthy on the spot, if they didn't toss you, how do you suspend
That's
over
interesting.
that?
That's an interesting
But
observation.
I also think the umpires, they don't want to be that guy. He's such a big matchup, prime
Since
time.
when?
I'm just saying, you don't want to throw out an AB in the first inning, no less.
Right.
The first
I
inning,
get it,
you're going to throw out an AB. And,
Yeah, but I heard there were Hall of Famers involved in this also.
So I'll tell you what I heard. Back to it. Alco's on the ground. He gets up.
Right.
Max ran to Naby face to face, and like every right he has, backing up his player. What are you doing? We don't do this. And then I heard Henry Shalom also made an appearance. And don't forget, the rundown was on Sabon's side of the dugout.
Got it.
So Big Red had to run from one side of the field to the other, one dugout to another. And I heard Henry Shalom, so I'm going to say what I heard. I heard that Henry Shalom jumped on AB's back. Now, I don't know how true this is.
Who are your sources?
I think he
Something in the chat today. I heard he jumped on his back. It's probably not true. I know Henry. I played with him last year. What a teammate he is. He's unbelievable. He'll do anything to back up any teammate.
His teammate.
And I heard Henry Shalom was really more of Henry Shalom and Nate B, more of Max. Max had his hands down. He didn't, I heard Nate B was just like rustling a little bit with his shoulders, throwing arms, not fists. But I heard Henry Shalom was...
And Sabon came in after
and
that,
Sabon,
right?
so
Peeled
Sabon
off
was
Henry.
mic'd up, so hopefully we'll be able to see.
Yeah, but I also heard that Sabon's mic got knocked off.
I heard that
and
as well.
Something,
I heard that as well.
and the entire audio might not even be existent after it got knocked out.
That would be not fun.
Yeah.
That would be not fun.
I can tell you one thing. It's usually not on brands for YMSL to put out stuff like this for people to consume.
I don't think the video will be on the highlights.
But it'll be
wrong.
No, but
it may be wrong.
But it will be used for the commissioner's chat sans.
Definitely.
Not the commissioner's chat. The committee
yeah,
sans Maxi Deed of how to issue and go forward with it. So I guess it's good they have it for that reason.
I mean, listen, I play an AB next week. If he gets tossed, so be it. I mean, I'm happy.
No, you want to.
I want to play an AB. Of course, I want to play an AB in 2 games. But if he did something wrong and he started and he was the instigator and he gets suspended. So
YMSL, credit to Norman, YMSL and its committee have been on a trajectory of cleaning this garbage up.
Yes.
It's been so good. Guys like Jack Abady are really helping with that cause.
Love what he's
Being
doing.
a captain of a team, look at the personalities on his team. He has, T.I., Yakov. He just had Jimmy, Ralph. He has a lot of personalities on that team. Great guys, just personalities. Sometimes can get a little animated. And
Normal Jack Abady.
Jack Abady is helping the situation.
Got it.
By bringing that vibe into the league.
Maybe he let his team listen to the comments.
Listen, they got destroyed yesterday by a 2-6 team.
Maybe Jack Abady let his team.
They didn't come apart at the seams. Zero.
No. Do they listen to the
calm?
Do they listen to the combat? Maybe that's why they're so calm.
I don't know.
Interesting. When I played Tar Heels, they battled. They were a good team.
We'll get to the Tar Heels, by the way.
We'll get there.
We'll get to
Let's.
it.
Let's get to it right now. Plakata took on the Tar Heels.
So let's get to that matchup. So Big Red got swept, which is a
Big
huge
Red got
story.
swept, yes.
Huge story because they were 8-0 coming into the week.
Yes.
They got swept by the 12 Commandments, who are relentless offensively. It's just one guy after next after next.
But there was battles. They said those games were close games.
Yes,
They were tight games.
So it doesn't really mean sometimes when you have a sweep
are excellent.
and one's 10-0, one's now 8-2.
Yeah.
But the fact that there were 2 battles, I think they're going to see each other down the line, and it's going to be more battles.
I think there was a walk-off involved in game 2. Ali, I believe, or
kind of like Nick
Is this a walk-off
Celtics.
homer by Ali?
not a homer. I think he had a walk. Maybe I'm wrong.
I mean, I know we're in the topic, but Nick Celtics,
big
Knicks,
rivalry.
they lost the whole regular season. Last game of the season, it was a
You
close
never
game.
know what happens in the playoffs.
And then when they play
You
them
never
tight,
know.
playoffs, something else could happen.
The Rays in the playoffs last year, we had nothing. I mean, we came in and we got hot at the right time. So that's all it is.
We're getting down the stretch soon. But anyway, let's go to the next matchup.
He wanted us to talk about Sammy Seruya. So Maxi Deed was telling us how many messages he was getting from the other team. I feel the same way, and there's so many other guys in the league that feel the same way. Sammy Seruya, as much as offensively, he's good. He's very good. He hasn't come into his own yet. He will get better, but defensively, he is elite. There is nobody in his class right now in the YMSL. There's nobody in his defensive class.
Can I give you a quick thing about Sammy Seruya? When Max, my brother, coached him on my oar, he told me when the kid was like 16 or 15, he was telling me this kid is ridiculous at shortstop. And to me, all Sammy Seruya was JoJo's younger brother. I'm like, okay, whatever. He's JoJo's younger brother. He's like, no, you don't understand. He's filthy at short. He was giving me Zach comps then.
Right.
And now to see him doing it now at the highest levels in all the leagues that we play in, it makes me happy. And I love Sammy. Everyone loves Sammy. He's the greatest kid.
He's awesome.
So you're saying Sammy's the best defensively in YMSL?
He might be the best defensive position player in the league, in all leagues. That's why he goes so high in M&S. That's why he goes so high now in YMSL.
Sammy's excellent. I mean, definitely.
Yeah.
I have to say, Sammy, I love you, but I'm JoJo over Sammy happens to be. I
Really?
love JoJo.
You have a championship with JoJo.
I won a championship with JoJo. He made excellent plays.
He's better offensively. He's a better hitter.
But I guess just from what JoJo showed me that 1 year, it was like, wow, this kid's just.
I can guarantee that JoJo will be clipping this 30-second clip.
Sure, he will. That's my fellow champ right there.
And it's going to be going over at the dinner table.
You see me with the polls in the Smack Talk chat. Sammy,
That's right. That's
Sammy
right.
or JoJo.
Okay. Let's get to the next matchup. So we have Plakata versus Heels on Deal School.
I'll let you take
So
this.
I have a lot to say about this matchup. Plakata, congratulations. You actually came to play for once and for all. Everything clicking. Pitching. Eddie was excellent on the mound. Defensive, awesome. We didn't make one error in the field, maybe one or two. Offensively, we had 3 very big innings. That's all you need in softball, right? You need just a big inning, explosion.
Just one.
6 runs, 7 runs, and then all you got to do is defend and make plays, and then you win a ball game. That's literally what happened in Game 1 and Game 2 versus the Tar Heels. The Tar Heels, they were flat, but defensively they were really good. They didn't give us any gifts. We had to earn everything. AB Sacker doesn't walk guys.
Yep, that's true.
So Plakata came in with a mindset. We made a lot of mistakes in the previous week versus 12 Commandments. We came in focused. We did our job. Not everybody was great offensively, but we had guys like Gabe and guys like Mocas having big weeks. Those guys woke up.
I mean, you mentioned that Gabe was struggling a few weeks ago.
Yeah.
Mightily.
When he played us, he was
Mightily.
struggling.
But we saw versus the 12 Commandments, he started to hit the ball much better.
Can I ask you a question, Hank?
Yes.
A lot of golfers, softball player golfers, have issues offensively. I think, I know Gabe loves to golf. I think as soon as Gabe, because he was a big bona fide power bat in all of our leagues forever, and then he just like became more of a pull happy type guy.
Right.
He used to go the other way, line drives all the time.
So good at going to right side.
I think
Right center
because
field.
he became an avid golfer, it affects his
100%,
softball swing.
100%.
And Edmund, you're a golfer also.
100% takes a little bit off of your swing. I mean, golf is muscle memory. It's doing the right swing over and over, and it's two. The weight transfer in the body is just it's two different things. And
I don't know.
That's what I think.
I'm not
I mean,
sure.
you don't
I'm curious.
golf,
I'm curious. I just wanted
true.
to throw it out there.
Anyways.
You don't hit. So it works both ways there.
Yeah, I
but
guess.
Gabe still has
There's
he
my
has an
excuse.
awesome swing. He has one of the
Gabe
sweetest
has
swings.
he does have an amazing swing. He does.
It looks like that post-game huddle where he ripped into your
Unbelievable.
So
team.
I wish that was on camera. I really.
It was
do.
a
Maybe you could tell us
special,
about it.
special pep talk.
Yeah, it's a
I think I
Sometimes
spoke
need
about
that.
it in the
You did.
last
You did. It was
after we lost,
powerful.
and we were still down.
I could see him doing it too. I could really see him doing it. I
Yeah.
played with him a bunch of times, and I see him doing that. But
Yeah.
kudos to Gabe. I got the team.
But
Beat to beat. It seems like they're rolling.
You were talking about the other team, and
No, so I'm going to continue talking about our team. So we have Carlos, unbelievable, came to play on both sides. So he came in, he made defensive changes. We had Los in right field. He moved Sully back to center field. That was a whole controversy in and of itself.
Yeah, Leo Sutton left.
Another big change we had was me moving from first base to catcher. Eddie Michon moving to first base.
wow.
That
So
was
you caught
huge.
Eddie.
I caught Eddie.
Which
So-
Hank wanted to do since day one.
I always wanted to catch. I was always pestering Los about catching. He's like, no, just play first. It hurts your legs, blah, blah, blah.
How are your legs?
So Hank actually caught for me in the fall ball Marine Park, and he was excellent. He really was. Hank was excellent. He
Thank
knows
you.
the game, more than
He's
probably
so
90%
involved
of
as a
the-
catcher.
He was. You know what? He was really
Yeah.
good. He knew where to go. He knew when to change up speeds and when not.
Little Birdie told me that you were facetiously being praised in your
Right.
Cyclones
And
chat.
it's not like we knew these guys. This
From
was the
Mr.
first time
from
we've
Mr.
seen these
Comac.
guys,
I told you what
know?
Jack Abady said.
Hey, what?
He said, now you're like Lewis. You can make a difference in a game behind the plate.
Ouch.
Like, wow, Jack, thank you. Wow. Lewis, wow. Thank you for the count. I appreciate that.
Speaking of Jack, I
Los.
heard he looked good again offensively.
No, so Los.
We gotta get back
Huge,
to Los. I heard
huge,
these catches
Oh,
were
Los.
nuts.
So he made two crazy catches in right field. After those plays, Solias was like, thank God Los was there. I'm not making those plays. Love you, Sol.
Wow.
But he made two incredible catches. You guys are going to see them on the highlights.
Can't wait.
And he had a huge RBI triple to get us started in the second game, to get our rally started in the second game. So that was gigantic. So Los came to play. And as a whole, Plakata is back. We feel like we're revived. We have a real revival of our team. And we're actually looking forward to seeing the next team next week. We haven't had that. The excitement in Sunday morning, the fun that you have Sunday morning, we haven't had fun until this week, which is crazy. It's week 5, week 6.
When there's a sweep, there's the other side of the sweep. So tell me a little about the other team.
Yeah, so the other team, listen, some guys look good, some guys look flat. We'll mention to Jack Abady. Fun fact, I was talking to Jimmy, who's also on that team, before, I think it was Wednesday or Thursday. I sent him a voice note. I said, Jimmy, Jack Abady does not look like the old Jack Abady that we know. Jack Abady, for those of you that don't know Jack, set himself a bar so high in the softball stratosphere. When he was on the Cacambas in the World Series, he didn't get out.
He didn't get out.
He just hit balls wherever he wanted. And this year coming in, he was a captain. He went first overall. He had this slot first overall. You got to be great if you're a first overall pick. Zach Ashkenazi is the number 2. So you got to be right there. You got to be excellent. You got to be the best in the league. I told Jimmy on Wednesday, Jack does not look the same. Something happened to Jack. I don't know what it is. He's just not the same. And of course, Jimmy went and took that text, sent it over to Jack Abady.
I heard Jimmy fell and is getting an MRI in his hip also.
I heard that as well.
Oh, Jimmy, that wasn't me.
Time out. I heard, and I heard it from a few people, that Jimmy fell a few times, not once, and he's getting a major MRI and his season's in jeopardy right now.
So, I mean, I guess I'll be the rat. I have a game tonight with Jimmy Malach in LBA, and he will not be there due to
The hip injury.
So there's definitely something going on there.
I think he's going to be okay. I think he
it's
just
Jimmy,
needs to rest.
Jimmy's he's a tough guy.
Why are you so uptight, Hank?
Is Jimmy a tough guy?
Why are you so uptight, Hank?
Huh?
Why are you so uptight, Hank?
There's something going on over here.
Something here? You're protecting something on it?
I needed to protect this information. I asked you before the podcast to shut up about it.
You're not the one who told me.
I'm
I heard from Sabon, not from you.
You heard from Steve.
I didn't hear from you.
Sorry, Jimmy.
Anyway, so let's get to the other guys on that team. So
Yakov.
Seruya, he mentioned to me during that matchup, he's like, dude, I don't feel energy. I don't know what it is.
He's staying on the team.
I
He needs some
something.
Celsius. That's what
I
he
didn't
needs.
want to tell him during the game that he needs a Celsius, but he wasn't getting around the Eddie Harari's fastball.
Wow.
Interesting.
Behind the plate, I was putting down the one on the inside, couldn't get around.
Wow.
He hit a double down the right field, like one of those left field line, like one of those arc Yakov doubles. He got a couple of hits, but very cheap hits, and he just didn't look the same yesterday. I really hope that he comes back and is great, but
I know,
he's got to figure something out.
He had a great start to the year.
Week one. I watched the highlights last week of his
so talented,
matchup versus Nanu Nation. He didn't look that good.
See, Yakov's more of an emotional player.
Right.
So when his emotions are clicking and when he's into it, focused,
And
he hits the ball on the line.
Yak's excellent. He will be there. He's a great bat, one of the best in YMSL, in my opinion. Probably top 10, top 5.
He will be missed in M&S this summer.
He will be missed.
That was a
Not
mistake.
make the,
For him not signing up? Yep.
Yeah.
Okay, anyway, the defense on both sides of this matchup. Good game?
So IG, this is
I heard
somebody
IG.
I want to talk about. Last year, JT took him instead of Soli Esses in the middle of the draft. I think it was like the 6th or 7th round. We had an opportunity to take one of those outfielders. I think Max Sutton was the one that told JT, no, take IG, he's great, instead of Soli.
Not true. I was with Max during the draft. That's not true. But okay.
So in hindsight, obviously that was a mistake for that time. We took IG onto the team. He was disappointing the first couple of weeks. He wasn't hitting at all. And the breaks that he was getting in center field were not good. And JT was very disappointed in that. And came to trade deadline, JT said, we got to move this guy. And he traded him for Joe Chira, who Joe Chira had his time in YMSL. Joe Chira is way past his prime.
All's well that ends well. You won the championship.
To trade a star rookie for Joe Chira there is, it's hard. It's a hard pill to swallow. It was a hard pill for us to swallow until Joe Chira helped us win a championship. But he's not the top of the conversation. So IG, when he got traded to the Warriors, he turned it on. Like, he started to hit, started to play a great center field. The reason why I bring up IG is because yesterday he made a couple of incredible catches, which you guys will see on the highlights. He closed some gaps in right center field on a couple of guys. Romy Rosenberg hit a ball to right center field. I thought it was going to be a home run. He got there, he dove, he caught it, and he made a couple of those plays. So shout out to IG.
He's dynamic. He's dynamic. Dynamic athlete in general. In the football league in DFL, he's one of the best receivers in the league as a rookie. So
Get it too.
yeah, he's a good player. He's
Incredible.
So I thought I was really thinking that Allen should be playing center and IG in left, but it seems like they trusted IG in center and it's working out. And there you go. He made some beautiful plays and good for him. Very happy to hear. I actually pulled his card the other day.
I think,
wow.
Yes.
That's actually. Oh, we'll get to the cards in a minute if we have some time.
YMSL cards.
Let's move on to the next matchup for a minute because we just mentioned Max for a second, so I actually want to mention something he said. It's the 61s versus Nanu Nation. Tell me what happened in that game because you actually told me you watched some of it.
So this is what I saw in the 61s Nanu matchup. The 61s, they have a good team. They have a good squad. They replaced Nuni in right field for this kid, Eli Braha. They call him Bahara for some reason. Slim, tall, athletic, good hitter, great outfielder, I'm hearing, and he's very fast. I mean, that replacement for Nuni really gave them a spark.
Is it an upgrade?
Nuni was a huge upgrade.
Wow.
Oh, you're saying it's an upgrade?
Huge upgrade.
I mean, Nuni was having
a very bad year. I mean, if
terrible
Nuni
so
was
I
having
guess
a great
it's
year,
definitely
it
an
would be
upgrade.
different.
I mean, his first at bat, he ripped down the left field line. So
Right.
He looks nice. He definitely looks nice. And
Yeah.
I'm
he's
actually.
fast. I heard he's
This
the
is a
fastest
big
guy in the
thing
league.
for YMSL, adding a 16-year-old kid to the mix. Like, where does he go next year in the draft? The way he's playing.
Right.
Definitely.
So he's in. That's it.
So
Next
where
year he's
does he
playing.
go?
I could see him being a 4th or 5th round.
Oh, that's
Yeah,
big stuff.
Yeah, I
He's
can
going
see
to go
him
in
going.
Alan Jamal area.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I can see that. I can definitely see that.
Yeah, we'll definitely talk 2026 YMSL draft.
Soon.
We have a lot of time for that. But getting back to that matchup, so I was talking to Sim Adler right after that matchup, and I was telling him, like, what's different? What changed about your team? You guys are on a four-game winning streak. What is going on? He's like, my outfield. I could pitch the ball knowing that if a guy launches a ball, all of them are going to make the catch.
You have Zach
Ashkenazi, who
Yep.
always played center field before he played
Not
shortstop.
always. I remember he always said, I don't want to play the outfield, even though we know he's the best at everything he does.
Right.
So, yeah, Zach, and he has Fark out there.
Zach, Farka in center field, and then he had this kid, Eli Braha,
He's the fastest in the league, apparently.
who's excellent. So
Yeah.
they really got a jolt in the arm, and they have a shortstop, Joey Cohn, who was playing second base, and they just plugged him in.
Excellent.
So they're rolling, and I think they put Jake Braha to second base, who suddenly has been hitting the tar out of the ball.
Yes, he has.
So good for Jake.
Jake looks
He's
great.
been struggling in the beginning of the season, so he's getting back going. And the 61s look like they're rolling,
Love it.
and they're heading into a very, very big matchup versus Plakata this upcoming week.
So they're hitting their stride as they face you while you're hitting your stride.
Wow, that's excellent.
That's going to be a
gonna
collision
fun.
course.
That's gonna be a fun series to watch if you guys are watching. A fun series to play.
And that's on Sunday.
Other team, Nanu Nation.
Nanu Nation, I hate to say this, but those guys, I don't think they ever had a chance from the beginning of the season. Everybody was spitting on them from the beginning. The picks that Nanu made, he had an opportunity to draft a great team. He had Joe G in the beginning, who himself has been struggling at the plate.
Can I give you a little bit behind the curtain on this one?
Go ahead.
I was with Max during the draft. And usually Max, as you know, is very involved in drafts. I'm usually with him, giving him my, because usually a captain or he's an assistant captain or something. This is the first time he was not really involved at all in any of the picks. And it was curious to me because you should, he's a wealth of knowledge. He knows all the kids.
But he was like in the middle of an anniversary party, right?
I was
draft.
I was sitting
You were
with him. It was my parents' anniversary party, yes. And we were sitting on the side talking, and
he was like, "No, Hakeem, what the hell are you doing?"
every single pick, he was like, "I have this guy available," and Nanu was calling him, and everything that a perfect example was Abrami Rosenberg. He just won Rookie of the Year in M&S. We just announced it, and Rosenberg was available, and he's like, I think it was either him or Noah Hakeem at the time. And I think that was
No, it went way earlier. It was him or
I forgot the pick. I'm sorry.
Mikey Miz or something?
Yeah, Mikey Miz. And I'm like, Max, how is he not taking Rosenberg? He's like, you're right. And he's calling, and I'm like, nah. And he's like, he was livid.
It wasn't even Mikey. Mikey's a great player.
Not about Mikey. It's not about Mikey.
No. I think it was Edmund.
Maybe it was Edmund. I don't even remember.
That's a bad pick. If you take Edmund over a first baseman, who there's so many first base. Edmund's great, but there's so many first basemen out there. Ike Mavora lasted 3 rounds later.
I'm just saying.
He took Edmund over Avrami.
There were a lot
That was the best.
See, there was a lot of picks that I kept on saying, Max, what about this guy? What about that guy? And Max like, yeah. And then everything Nanu was doing was like, Max like, what? So now Max, I'm gonna give it a little bit of a quote.
Wow.
Max might be pissed off at me for saying this right now, but whatever. I love you, Max. Max called this. He's been around softball for about 25 plus years. Veteran in this league, veteran champion in this league multiple times. He said this might be one of the most dysfunctional organizations, not from Nanu, because he said Nanu's a great hitter, he told me. Nanu's one of the greatest hitters he's played with in quite some time. But the team overall is one of the most dysfunctional teams that he's been associated with in quite some
How
time.
long has he been playing?
That's not a Max.
I mean, his
comment.
rookie year, I think, was 2005 with Smack Pack with Elliot Braha. Long time.
A lot of years.
Long time.
That's a lot of teams, and that's
It's just, he's never used to the dysfunction. Again, I may be taking things out of context a little bit, maybe, but maybe not.
And you know what? I was there till the end of that game, and Nanu walked off the field without even gathering his team together. He just walked off. You know that gate, that by Deal School. What's it called? On the other field. He just walked out of the gate. Goodbye. I'm out. I'm like, Nanu, you got to huddle your team together. You have 4 games to play. You still have a shot at the playoffs. You have a decent team. Get them together. No, hopeless. He said. I can't. There's nothing I can do with this team.
So maybe that's why. Time out.
They threw in the towel.
That's
why the way I saw it.
Okay, so I spoke to Max about 10 minutes after this. So maybe he was hot and emotional, and that's what he was not used to. Could be. That makes sense because I didn't know this part. So yeah, I guess that's what Max is where he's coming from when he's saying that dysfunction is crazy. Because when do you not have a post-game huddle and say, guys, let's get it together, win the last 4, let's win out and see what happens? I guess that's what happened. Okay.
You know what? Max could have initiated that huddle, and he didn't. So.
Well, Max didn't miss game 1, right? Because he had a
Chumash play.
He was the director. He was the director of it. He came from Brooklyn, so a lot of times it's very hard to jump into a game.
Yeah.
So I hear you.
Saying Nanu threw in the towel.
That's what it looked like. That's what.
Let's watch them win 4 straight now.
That's basically what he said.
And shut us all up.
I hope so. I really do. It's just 3 teams, tied for the.
I think we talked enough about a dysfunctional franchise. There is a next matchup, and that Edmund, our guest, will be talking a lot about. It is Stratton Oakmont. Is that right? Yeah. Versus the Purple Cobras.
So yesterday's games were. First of all, I just want to say one thing. Stratton Oakmont is the greatest team. I love it so much, but I've never been on such a good team that's playing so bad. Like,
so many question marks.
The paper, you look at our paper and it's just like we have everything we need to win a championship. Every little thing, it's all there. Listen, it's week 6 next week. Pieces are coming together. We actually had a lot of upside, even though we lost to the Cobras. There's a lot of things that started to come together. Our defense was very wobbly throughout the beginning of the season. Yesterday was actually very, very good. Very good.
How was Ruby Saka?
So Ruby Saka was.
He moved to second base, right?
So there was a switch. Sal Fallis moved to short center. Ruby moved to second. It was great. I happen to have loved it. I think it made our infield much stronger. Sal made every single play at short center. Every single play. And I think Sal just, I think he has an easier time making the harder plays than the routine.
That's interesting.
That's what I think. I don't know.
He makes the flashy play.
You remember last year in the World Series when he was just making these insane.
Yeah.
Like he had no time to react, but he was just doing it. Like it was.
Maybe he's one of those guys that give him time and he's not good.
Anyways, I love Sal Fallis. He's amazing. He has great defense. And he made every single play up the middle. He had a couple double plays, and Ruby looked great at second base. It fixed the up the middle problem. They're playing it much better, and it really helped.
So was there any defensive issues last night?
There was a couple defensive issues. There was a lot of brain farts. There was probably maybe only 1 or 2 plays that actually affected the gameplay. I mean, A-Paper dropped the ball that he never drops. He makes 10 out of 10 times that he just happened to have dropped. I mean, it didn't hurt us at all.
9 out of 10.
I'm going to say 10 out of 10.
He dropped it.
Well, he dropped it, so 9
exactly.
out of 10.
He's got a point.
But, it didn't affect us at all. It was just dumb.
Did Uri throw any balls into the park?
Uri's been excellent.
Uri's been
making every play. He's making some diving plays.
You're surprised?
And he's batting 700.
I'm not surprised. No, I'm not surprised.
He's surprised.
I mean, Hank's surprised, but Uri's been making some crazy plays. You'll see in the highlights.
Batting a 700, you say?
He's batting 700.
Yeah, he's batting 700. It's
he's
crazy.
winning the batting title by a long
anyways,
shot.
back to our games.
He's that good.
He complained about his first round slot in M&S.
So good.
He complained about his first round status.
Really?
Of course he's a first rounder, no question.
Okay.
Back to the games. We had I can't even tell you how many opportunities we had to win both games. Not even game 1. So I'll just give you a little bit of a recap. We were down 4-1 in like the 3rd or 4th inning. We ended up scoring, I think it was 6 or 7. It was 7-4. They tied the game. Top 7, tie game. We go into extra innings. I think maybe they were the quickest innings ever, these extra innings. They were like 1, 2, 3 innings, quick. Like everyone was just in a funk. Nobody was able to hit.
Love those.
But Stratton had so many opportunities to win the game, myself included. I had a big at bat that could have won us the game in game 2. I'm skipping a little bit. I'm sorry.
Strike out again?
So I actually did strike out to Steven Shalou looking. I mean, Mike Rusamano, we'll get to him.
Steven Shalou?
Steven Shalou is very excited.
Let me get back to game 1. Game 1, it's a 7-7 game, top 7, or bottom 7, extra innings. We're going 10th inning, whatever, 8th inning, 9th inning, 10th inning, 11th inning. Finally, in the 12th inning, Stratton decides to wake up. I think, Jeff Zaka really helped us out. I think he walked 1 or 2 guys and then hit. bottom line, the bases loaded, tie game, extra innings. Sal Fallis hits an absolute moonshot all the way to the street. Grand slam, no doubter. Off the bat, we were all going crazy, and it was just, you know, we blew it open.
Was it a walk-off?
It was not a walk-off. We were actually top, so I think it was the top 11,
game-winning
the top
home
12.
run.
But listen, it's not over. After that, we put up 5 runs, and then Ellie Race, I forgot, maybe Mo Haber got on. I was the runner. Oh no, Fonz got on that bat. I was the runner. And then Ellie Race hits another moonshot to give us, I think it was either a 2-run homer or a 3-run homer.
He said that he hit the parking lot on a fly.
No, he did not.
So liar,
He
Ellie
did
Race.
not hit the parking lot
Ellie Race,
on
I'm
a
calling you
fly.
out. You can't say you can't hit a parking lot on a
ever
fly.
been done?
Only Hank has done that. Nobody else has done that.
Yes, it has been. I mean, maybe we'll look back at the highlights. But anyway, so this is where
Race.
Steve Shulu comes in.
Race car.
So Jeff Saka just gives up 9 runs, and now Steven Shulu comes in to close the game. Jeff was hurt, apparently. He probably was. Game 1 over. We won by a final score of, I don't know what it was, 9 after 7 to 7. And then we're gonna go to game 2. Game 2 was absolutely.
Wait, so Jeff took himself out.
Jeff took
Wait,
himself
so
out.
he pulled himself?
He pulled himself. He said,
pulled
"There's no
himself.
point in me pitching. Just finish the inning off." By the way, this was no outs.
Was it finish the
There was
inning
no
off or
outs.
finish
No,
the season
there
off?
was, No. So I don't know.
What was the feeling that you're getting from Jeff
How
right
old
now?
is Jeff now? I mean, he's been playing for so long. I can't
He's
see
not
him
young.
just. I mean, listen, he's.
Wait, wasn't he at the top of his game just 2 years ago?
Yeah.
No, top of his
Yeah, he
game.
was.
Yeah, he
was
had
yeah.
one of his best seasons of his
Yeah,
career.
That's what I thought.
You played with him 20 years ago.
Okay, and I
Was
think
it good then?
So before Circle of Trust, who was he with?
I remember in
Do you
'99 and Yahoo he
Caballos?
won.
He was- No, you're skipping. It was my biblical.
No, he had a lull where he wasn't
That was the
elite,
White Sox, the Black Sox.
Oh, the Black Sox.
and then he
Yeah,
was
that was
great
another-
a few years
So
ago.
maybe a little. Maybe Circle of
Was
Trust he
Arnold.
was good last year. Anyways, game 2. So Steve Shalou's pitching. We start off this
Time out.
game.
Steve Shalou's like
I don't know where
He's
to
their
where.
He's their right
He's
fielder.
the right
at this
fielder.
point
I don't know
because
where.
They
where
have
he
Mo
came from.
Shama. They have Mo Shama at shortstop now.
Yeah, they picked him up for
Because when
MC.
Michael
So,
got,
can I ask you a question? Let me
replaced,
I have a
moved
question
Mo
on
Shama
that.
to shortstop.
When you pick up a shortstop for a center field, you're fair game, do whatever you want. Like I can
Yeah,
put Mo
you have a
Shama at
replacement.
short.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I think
replace
it's very clear that MC is much better than.
Fine,
exactly.
fine.
That's
So
why
now
they allowed
Steven
it.
Shalou's expendable.
Play right
So he
field.
player of it. So now
He's
he's
an excellent right fielder.
He said, "Let me pitch."
I be
Do
honest
whatever
with
they
you,
want.
I
He's
don't-
on his team.
I don't know.
No, I
where-
get it. I'm saying I've never seen Steven Shalou pitch before. Have you?
Never.
I haven't seen him pitch.
I never even saw him like warm up. I know maybe he like took a page out of Cousin Jimmy's book.
Whatever it is, he gave up 2 runs. That
Exactly.
entire
I was
game
going to
too.
say, whatever
I'm
it is,
curious.
it worked.
That's
He
what
had-
I'm-
listen, he had some zip on his ball. Something that was very interesting to see was, maybe this affected us a little bit in game 2. He was down 3-0 and 3-1 in maybe every single count of the game, and somehow came back and threw as many strikes as he needed.
Wow.
Incredible.
And it definitely affected me because, I mean, I'm sitting there down 3-0. I don't expect this guy to come back at me with 5
Right.
straight strikes in a row. And
Strategy.
He just does.
Strategy.
And he did, you know.
Fall
and,
behind.
And I don't know if that's what it was, but we had so many opportunities to win this game. This is another game that went to extra innings and a 1-1 game.
Yeah, I watched the end of it.
How do we score 1 run on Steven Shalou? How? I don't know. It's very.
I mean, is the league gonna figure him out after a few, or does he actually have filthy stuff?
No, he doesn't have filthy stuff. He'll never pitch in this game, in this league for a team. I don't think it'll ever happen. I mean, listen, maybe it affected us, like somebody said in the chat, when Tuna came in and they couldn't hit him. You know, maybe it's just that sub pitcher coming in. Everybody thinks you're gonna rock him. New guy on the mound. He doesn't have any stuff, and maybe that's just where it gets
Lose
you.
focus.
I don't know. Maybe you lose focus, but
Everyone's expecting to hit the guy. I get it. Okay,
we didn't hit, and just to skip a little bit, you asked me before, did any of the plays affect us? So there was a ground ball. I won't say who.
Why not?
Because I don't want to, he's great.
We're gonna
He's
see it on
been
the
great
highlights.
all year. This is maybe his first or second error, so I don't want to,
So?
say anything. But because, okay, Eric Citron.
Okay,
Eric
Eric.
Citron had a routine
Love you,
ground
Eric.
ball that he backhand. I don't think he should have. It went past him, and then Sammy S's came up and hit a gapper, and they scored from first.
Now,
Wow.
did you bring the
Is it
outfield
a
in?
coincidence that he's a
I did.
sponsor and he hit the gap?
I did. I love that you asked this question. I told them before the at bat, anything over your head is my fault. And he just split the right center gap. He did.
Ooh.
Okay, so
I was in a 2-1 count.
That's no doubles defense. Ed.
I wish I could go
are you
back.
doing?
I wish I could go back. It probably was my fault for giving up this hit. But we should have scored. It shouldn't have been to 9 innings with Steven Shalou off the
No
mound.
way.
1 run. We've been scoring runs like it's nothing. And it was just crazy to me. And I think Stratton's, we still have the pieces coming together. And we have a very tough matchup next week. And it's going to be tough. But I think, we're saying all the right things that needs to be said. And I think, we might surprise everybody next week. I think we took a lot of bad losses that were very upset.
Let's talk about that matchup. You face the 12 Commandments next week.
So,
Are you guys going to be happy with a split? I mean, that
I would
so
be happy with
good.
the split.
So listen, I mean, I'll be happy with the split if we sweep the 61s
I think you could afford
next
us.
week. But
You
if
could
we go
afford
2
a split.
splits right now, I will not be happy. I won't be. No.
Yeah, because you're going to be coming into the
I mean, listen, they're a great
playoffs
team.
lukewarm.
They're a great team. If we split,
I
and
think
it's-
getting a game off the best team in the league
yeah, you're right.
is
But-
definitely a
yeah,
win.
Yeah, but
I'm sorry,
I
obviously.
only expect greatness, and I only expect the best. I only expect the best out of my
So,
team.
and you think your team has championship expectations still?
Oh, 100%.
Okay.
100%.
I mean, that's just a
I
guy
think-
saying the right things. Yeah,
Hank,
but
do you think they have championship expectations still?
there's so many perplexing teams in this league. You look up and down. Plakata, like what the hell? Do they suck?
Wait,
are
so
they good?
Before you get into that,
The Tar Heels.
talk about the standings right now, and then
It's-
say that.
I mean,
Yeah,
you look at
I
the
agree
Rays
with that.
last year. Who thought they were winning? They were in the same
That's
funk
true.
that we're in. They lost 4 in a row.
Yeah.
Did they lose 4 in a row?
Well,
In
you
the
Yeah.
middle
said
of
it.
the season?
She got to get
That
hot.
was a
Yeah.
They
funk.
were like 5-1, and
And
you
then we
guys
got
lost.
hot.
And
Yep.
you lost a
We
lot.
didn't even get hot during the end of the season.
it's
We
just-
got hot
Yeah,
in
but-
the wild card.
I mean, this
Like,
right now. I'm looking
that's
at the
what we gotta
standings
do.
on a paper. There's 3 teams that are 5-5, and 1 team at 4-6. There's 3 available spots. One of those 4 teams, they get a first round bye.
Yeah.
Yes.
So like anything could happen.
Anything can happen.
Right.
Anything.
I think
happen.
it's a
Any
shoo-in.
team can win. I really think any team can win. I think. I'm actually gonna go out and say this. I do not think that Big Red or Saban's team will be winning the World Series.
Wow.
That's wild.
That's my take.
Well,
I think,
I mean, of course you
It's
think
hard
you're
to
going to
say.
win, and
yeah,
you think you're going to win.
well,
So
yeah, that's obviously why I'm saying, because I think Stratton will be on the.
yeah,
top,
okay.
But,
So it's not that much of a hot take.
But I mean, let's move on. What do you got?
Actually, tell me which one of those teams you think.
I actually
will not
want
be-
to talk about the standings. I made a prediction today that I think that Stratton is going to be the 6th seed and not make the playoffs.
Interesting.
I mean, only because you guys are playing 12 Commandments. If you guys weren't playing 12 Commandments next week and you were playing the Tar Heels and you would split, I would say you make the
It's
playoffs.
definitely a fair take.
But-
Definitely a fair
And
take.
who do you-
We're facing weak teams going into week 6.
Wait, on
and
this
7.
note, who do you think's not going to be? Who do you think's going to be the 6th seed not making it out of the bunch? Edmund.
Give me the teams again. Run
It's
down.
Plakata, Tar Heels.
Plakata, Tar Heels,
You guys.
Stratton, and 61s.
Yeah. Who's the team that's going to be out?
Who's going to be the odd man
Who's
out?
going to be the 6th? Right now, we're in 6th place. 6th place.
I'm gonna go out and say I think that Plakata will not be in the playoffs.
Look at this. So you think
No,
he's
but I'm
not?
not
You
saying
think
it
he's
just
not?
because you called me out. I'm saying it
We're
because
4 and 6. We're in 6th place
I
right
played
now. I mean,
Plakata.
that's not going out on a limb.
Yes, listen, I played Plakata and I didn't see much. I'm just gonna,
Correct.
nothing against you guys.
You also saw them before
I didn't
they
see
came
yeah,
together.
That's true.
so-
That's true.
a
But I mean,
different team.
obviously, if I have to pick one, I mean, they're all great teams. I'm not gonna say Tar Heels are gonna go out because I do think Tar Heels are great. 61s, I think, have a great team. They're just, putting it all together, man. That's exactly what they're doing, and anyone can win. This is softball. You could go
Pick
to
with the-
Plakata
I always
and
say
go all the way. You
ride
can.
the
It's
starting
very
pitcher.
possible.
Whoever has the proven starting pitcher,
Yeah.
that's who's going to make it at
Didn't
the
the
end.
Giants do it once in the,
Yeah.
in the NFL? Did they get hot and win?
Yeah, I got to have him win. That's what you got to do. Okay, so that really sums up the entire YMSL round. I think we did a pretty good job breaking it all down. I also wanted to, you know what, Edmund?
Yes.
It's funny, we forgot to mention it, and it's a little bit of a interlude for a minute.
What do you got?
But tell me about your rise in the softball scene.
Love it.
Talk to me about, where you came from, what are your roots, how'd you get
Love it.
involved?
Love it.
Go, the
So,
floor is all yours.
This is going to be an interesting one. So, I've been playing softball my whole life in SYBC with Shimmy and Butchie as my counselors. And I always had the dream of being a shortstop. My whole life I wanted to be a shortstop. Now, fast forward to 9th grade. I'm in high school, I'm finally excited to be part of the softball Shady team. They were always known to be one of the best. They always had unbelievable records and great players. And it came to on a Friday to the JV tryouts. So I don't know if anybody knows, but in Shady we have such good young players that they do 9th grade JV and 10th and 11th, 12th varsity. So our 9th grade team was not the best. Yeah, I mean, we didn't have that much. We didn't have a pitcher.
Who was your shortstop though?
Our shortstop back in the day was so it happens to be we didn't have a set team yet. We didn't.
Jackie Haber wasn't in that time frame?
No, so when I was in 9th grade, Jackie Haber was still in elementary. We went to the tryouts, basically just, putting all the cards on the table and seeing who's a good fit for what. I was actually going to be the shortstop for Shady. And so we get to the tryouts, and everybody's trying to lob the ball over, but nobody could throw the ball over. We're all like, how are we going to do this? Like, we're all saying, like, who's here to sign up a pitcher? Not one guy. So Caston, my coach, Mr. Caston, Coach Caston came up to me, and he said, I mean, I was one of the diehard softballs. Like everybody knew that, I was gonna do whatever I could to make sure this team is great. And he came up to me and he said, "You want to give it a go?" And I said, "Listen, I never done it before. I'm willing to try." And I got on the mound, and I was just throwing strikes. I didn't have the best speed, but I was just throwing strikes. And and he came up to me after and he said, we just found our pitcher, and the rest is history. I taught myself how to be a pitcher.
Wow.
From day one.
What a story.
I did it because we didn't have anybody else, and
that's pretty.
So happy, honestly.
So really, Coach Caston gets all the credit.
Coach Caston gets all the credit.
Any players on your team that are notables that we would know?
So Eddie Levy, actually, I don't know if you know him, tall guy. His brother's Joe. He's great. I don't know if he's in deal for the summer, but he is an excellent player. I don't know if he plays in the Brooklyn League, but he's excellent. He's one from my team. That's really it. I mean, we didn't really have heavy hitters.
Did you guys win?
No, so tell him.
So
say the story. Say the story, Ed.
The Shady
YDE story, yeah.
So YDE and Shady, obviously the two Syrians, so the two very religious, all boys schools, always went head to head. Always. I mean, you tell me we're playing YDE and I'm on the field 3 hours before. I wanted to crush YDE. I wanted to crush them. I wanted to bury them. And Salsis was the talk of the town back in the day. He was known to be the best pitcher in the JV back then. And I said to myself, and this is me coming in off no experience off pitching, I said, screw this guy. I'll be the best. And I don't know what I did that game. I went off.
You don't know what you did that game?
I'm saying, I don't know what was going through my veins that day. I mean, I was filthy. I mean, I was hitting my spots. I had speed that I never even thought I had. I mean, I was just throwing as hard as I can at these guys, and I promise you, I hate to say it, but every time one of these guys got up to the plate, I said, screw this guy, I'm getting him out. And I think 14 out of 21 or 26 batters went out by K. We ended up winning 3-1.
Who was the head coach of YDE then, Ed?
Head coach was Sam Sutton.
What?
So this is actually how I got into all these leagues and became a real softball player and a real pitcher. And because Sammy Sutton, after that game, he said, "Who the hell are you?"
Yes, I remember.
And he said, "You will be playing in my leagues." And surely or not, I started off in the minors league. I mean, you could talk.
I'm not going to talk much about the minors because a lot of the players that are in the minors, you can even say the names.
It was just easy to just say that I was overmatched. I belonged in M&S at that time in my life. I think I was 17 or 18.
Now you started off in the minors.
That's where it all begun, and I was just striking out everybody left and right.
Then we went.
I went to MSB.
MSB when I was in charge.
So I played there 2 years. SBH. I went to Rebel on the Double as my first team.
Champion.
No, we
lost the championship.
We lost because Elliot Sutton missed.
Elliot Sutton dropped the ball to the ball busters.
To you right here, and Alan Jamal scored from first. Also, Steven did not throw to second.
I just want to go stop for a second. You just said Alan Jamal, Stephen Gindy, Hank, Edmund, these all the boys.
By the way, MSB back then was where it was
so
at.
fun.
It was legit. It was
so fun.
Great games, and I lost my first year, and
in the World Series.
In the World Series, I lost on
I want to say
one
something
ball.
about BKS.
We'll get there.
And then I won the next year in SBH, and it's funny. I actually remember Joe G telling me, "You gotta play YMSL," and I told him I will. Let me win one more time in this league. That's exactly what I did, and props to Jimmy Malach, who really got me in the league. He called me 3 months before, and he pretty much said, Norman has a spot right now, I need you to know.
Well, there's always need for pitching, especially good pitching.
As a first rounder.
I told Jimmy, I said, Jimmy, I'm in, I'll be there, and the rest is history.
Washalama Jimmy on the MRI, by the way.
Washalama Jimmy.
Yeah.
I'm going to miss you tonight.
By the way, I want to mention a story that I remember from MSB. I remember your Shoutout to our coach came to
Yes.
us.
It was Payday Sakala versus
Payday
Edmund.
versus the
It was
Phenom.
It was Joey versus you. Joey Sakala versus you.
So I
No,
was,
race account.
Yeah.
Race
and
account, sorry.
I was very offended to what you asked him that
Yes,
day.
that's what I was gonna bring up.
Offended. You asked
So
him,
on camera,
who
you
do you
asked him.
want on the biggest, or you said, who do you rather, Edmund or Ray? And he said he has to take Ray because, you know, Edmund on his best day is his best, and it offended me. It hurt me a lot. And
Coach Caston, was it?
Yeah, and I thought I was
And look
100
where
times
Edmund is
better
now,
than
and look where Ray is now.
I mean, Ray Sakal did join M&S a few years ago. Didn't
Yeah.
get a pitching job.
No.
Fizzled out. I don't know if he's playing in Brooklyn this
He
year.
was in Brooklyn, I think.
The guy came in his Adidas pants and his stains.
Bottom line is, it's you have a gamer versus a guy that rather
Ray.
have his
Ray's
chain
great.
flashed
Yeah,
out.
just something
By
for
the
me to
way,
bring up back
he won a
then.
championship with you, right?
Ray beat you in the
Yes,
championship.
with Bullbusters, correct.
Yes.
Ray beat you in a championship.
So he has that. He has that.
Correct.
But that was an interesting story. That was,
Okay, yeah. So that's your, and
you
then
proved yourself.
and now you are who you are in
I am who I am.
in YMSL. So
All
that's
from that, all
love
from
it.
that one tryout that I went to in 9th grade.
Love it.
Crazy.
Think about how our leagues would be without Edmund Beta and them.
It's unbelievable. And in M&S, how many championships do you have in M&S?
So I've been playing 4 years. I went 3 out of 4 years to the World Series, and I have 2
One, two.
championships. I won with Great Awakening,
Incredible.
and last year with IDF. And let's go bananas.
As a captain, and now you're back as a captain of the banana. I saw Ellie Race wearing a banana hat.
Yes.
How did that happen?
So Ellie Race, he just loves the bananas. I mean,
He likes bananas.
if you know Ellie Race, he is a banana. I mean, I wish that he was in this league, and maybe one day he will.
I asked him.
Allegiance
It's tough
to
for him.
Muncie.
I mean, he's in Muncie. You know, he's not. It's not the only league he plays in. He plays in LBA, and he plays in his Muncie league, and it's tough for him to travel 2 hours and play 3 nights a week. It's tough, and hopefully one day he'll be willing to do it.
I mean, you did mention something quickly about we were talking about the Brooklyn League, but I've actually a note about the Brooklyn League right now. There's actually a great storyline that's happening in the BKS.
Yeah.
It used to be MSB.
So
Hold on, ignore the call. Go ahead.
So Big Red Machine were 8-0 and coming in, and they lost a couple of games.
Big Red Machine.
There is still a 10-win team undefeated in the BKS,
And that is
the
Matza Ballers.
Matza Ballers.
Mark Cohen on the mound.
So before we get into this, I saw Mark Cohen in Dougie's on Thursday night, and I've never seen a bigger smile on this guy's face in my life. I mean, he was sitting me there for like 20 minutes talking about literally every single play. He's hyped up. He loves it.
You know those trading cards that Brooklyn started giving out in that YMSL?
Yeah, so-
I saw a video today of him ripping up the trading cards,
No
talking
way.
crap about everybody.
No way.
Mark
Yeah,
is on fire.
He's fired up. He wants to show the league, he's got what it takes. And even with everybody talking about him, it doesn't matter. He will do what he has to do. And
he's
10-0.
10-0. Okay, so
Wow.
I don't care what league, I don't care what competition.
No way.
10-0 is 10-0, man.
legit.
That's it.
It's
and by
not
the way,
easy to win 10 games in a row. It's not. Especially
I'm hearing he's throwing strikes
Yes,
too.
But ever since the fiasco of the quote-unquote illegal pitch,
Yeah.
he's been throwing. He said, he told me.
I heard he's been
I
taking
took
them
it out.
out.
I took it out of my
And
arsenal.
he's still doing it.
Hit
So
me
you
now.
know what? All you Brooklyn guys who's been bashing him, you're still not hitting him.
And now
You have no excuse for letting Mark Cohen be 10-0.
They-
But he's just dominating.
they
That's
do have a
it.
bye week coming up,
I
and then
heard.
the final week of the season, they're going up against the number 2 seed,
Wow.
which is Isaac Sasson and Morty
Oh, wow.
Shrem,
That's Kai Pera.
and Kai Pera,
So my brother-in-law's on
and
that.
Aaron Levy and Lenny Laniato,
Yeah,
and my
yeah.
nephew Aaron,
Great team.
and they have a very good team.
Great team.
And it's all going to come. That's the real test.
Yeah,
Right.
wow. Love it. Love
Yeah,
it.
exciting stuff. Exciting. You
Yeah,
know,
and then you have Isaac Cohen and
oh,
Three-Fingered Grazzy.
and Bill.
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 By the way, Bill's like going
Bill's
to
in the
MVP right now.
MVP.
That's
Bill,
what I'm hearing.
former
Yeah.
M&S batting champion. Bill
Yeah.
is right now one of the MVP leaders. You said Three-Finger Grazzy having a
Three-Finger
great year.
Grazzy.
JoJo Cohen also.
Yeah, he's also playing
he playing
unbelievable.
shortstop
I see the
or
little
third
reels.
base? And I
I see
heard-
the little reels. He's putting pop into them.
This is a note, by the way. JoJo Cohen, that's Icy Hot's younger brother, he's playing a real, legitimate third base.
Really?
And And not Lenny, by the way.
Not Lenny.
He's playing a real third base, and he said I could do it in M&S.
Wait, you're telling me
And he's
Jojo's
throwing
on
to
that
Isaac
team?
Cohen.
Jojo's on Kaipera. Lenny's not playing third?
I think so.
Wow.
Unless
Is
I'm
Jojo
wrong.
Is Jojo in M&S?
Jojo's
Yes.
on
Which
this?
team is he
He's on Gabe's team.
Gabe's team.
Gabe's team.
Yeah, he's good.
Very nice.
Yeah.
Good goal.
Requesting trades.
He told me I got taken in the last round. They have no idea how good I am. That's what he tells me.
I see Hot playing first base.
Yeah,
He's catching the ball.
Wow.
You're such a niche.
No.
You're such a niche. Catching the ball.
So I see Hot sometimes has a hard time playing catch.
You're such a niche.
I love you, Isaac.
What's wrong with you?
Isaac, I love you.
Thinks he's the best catcher in the world.
Oh, now that you're a catcher, you can talk about other people catching the ball? You're a piece of garbage, you know? It's disgusting.
I have to put that out there, Isaac.
Okay, by the way, now, I think that was our segment on the Brooklyn League. And then for the final segment, or there's really 1.5 more segments, we have an LBA tonight. That's why you're in the car.
That's why I'm in the car. LBA, baby.
LBA. So now we have the matchups. You can give me your predictions, but let's go through some names here that I circled and highlighted. You know what? You say the names. Go.
Okay, so first what I want to do on the LBA segment is I want to go through the top 3 teams that are notable and those noteworthy. We'll go through the other teams also fleetingly, and then we'll get to the week 1 matchups, and we'll give our predictions. How about that?
Go for it.
Let's do it.
Okay, so the first team we'll talk about our team. Edmund is on our team. Believe it or not, he was the last second addition. He will not be pitching this year unless we need him as a sub.
Don't tell them who's pitching, please.
I will tell them who's pitching. He is pitching behind Salah Assis, his nemesis.
I want a full scouting report, Ed. Full.
I'm going to be throwing the ball at his head instead of...
And I want you to have your phone behind him recording clips so I could use for the
Just wait
media.
till my 60-minute segment.
So Salah Assis on the other side of the ball.
That's a great call.
Yep.
Okay, good.
Yep.
He's a good hitter. He's a big
Salah
hitter.
Assis came into this preseason game that I hate, and he hit like 3 home runs to center field way over the fence.
Wow.
So LBA fence is no, it's nothing to sneeze at.
Can he hit it over M&S fence?
So I'll tell you like this: with me on the mound, Salas will not be hitting it over the
It's
fence.
not true, by the way. He hit off a very good pitcher with good velocity.
No, not me.
Edmund.
Not me. It will not happen.
We know that you're
By
a
the
little
way,
bit of a
circle that
cocky guy.
matchup. That's going to be an interesting matchup. Circle it. Me versus Milo.
Oh, I circled it.
It's circled. Salas, I am coming. for you.
Bananas for staying alive. Okay.
Yep, keep going.
It's circled. So yeah, it's a team. It's basically the LBA version of a SY J-Dub mix of players.
Hybrid.
It's a hybrid. We are called the Premier Events Organization. We have Ellie Siegel at shortstop. We have Minzer. We have Jojo Mamie playing third base. Jojo Mamie not playing in the night league. He will be fully dedicated to the LBA.
Miss you, Babon.
He's awesome.
Babon.
Babon. Then we have Chats Katz and a couple other. Yossi Abramson playing center field.
Wait, Mabruk to Babon. Big mazel tov had a baby
Wow.
Yes, on Thursday.
on Thursday. Correct.
Brisk coming up on Thursday.
Beautiful.
Mabruk.
Yes, so that's our team. We're excited. I want to just mention a couple other notables. Uri's team, obviously Bluestone Brokerage. He went over from Ellie Siegel. He played with Ellie Siegel last year. He broke off of that team. He went together with Yechiel Kleiman. So it's in these leagues, he loves playing with his brother Sim. So Sim is going to be the pitcher on that team. Uri is going to be
But
playing
Sim's not going to play
third base.
because he has broken ribs.
Sim, right. So I think this week they play on Wednesday, and I think he will not be
So
pitching.
Sim actually has
I think
broken
Hershey will
ribs.
be pitching.
Hershey Kornfeld. So now someone in our chat, in the Carpool Chronicles chat, sent an emoji of Hershey Kornfeld's name. It was a chocolate bar, it was a corn, and a field. It was the greatest. It was the greatest.
Yeah. For the record, his name is Hershey Kornfeld.
Okay, so now it's Hershey.
Okay, now his name is Hershey.
Okay,
A couple other notable names on that team. Avrami Rosenberg playing shortstop.
Wow.
You're always great there. Ellie Race manning center field. And
Your boy.
And obviously you have Yankee Gutman on that team. Always there to give the hype and a sick bat
Great
to
squad so
boot.
far.
It's a good team.
It's a good squad. It's a very good squad. And they have other
Bluestone's
teams.
always known to be good. I play them every year in LBA. They always have the strongest team. Usually always the best.
They're going to be a tough. They're going to be a tough
They're gonna
opponent.
be a tough
for sure.
matchup, but
And
Listen,
then
hopefully we'll take him down like we did last year.
that's right. We took them down twice.
Took him down
That's another
twice,
story.
Baby. Twice. You hear that? Twice.
That's right. And then the defending champs of last year's
Lowinger.
right. So Lowenger's team. That's Nutty in center field.
Finkel.
Applegrad, by the way, excellent pitcher. It's good
Yeah,
fastball.
Applegrad's guys. I watched him pitch.
Andy Applegrad. I'm not sure. I don't think he lives in Lakewood, so I'm not sure how much he's going to come in.
No, but he'll be there for all the playoff games in the World Series.
Right. So I think they're going to get him 3 games and then
Let me ask you a
qualify him.
question.
I mean, that's a problem because last year the minimum requirement, that was the makeup games. Remember, my nephew didn't play in enough games, and they had to make him play again. So let's keep our eye open on that if Applegrad qualifies for
Right.
postseason.
So I think Aaron Gordon is their pitcher.
I'm mixing up with Gordon and the other guy.
Yeah, so
Gordon's the
Gordon
guy
is their
I know.
pitcher, and Applegrad is the guy they really want to be pitching. I love you, Aaron, but Applegrad is their guy, and they're going to try to get him
I
qualified.
saw
for the
Applegrad
playoffs.
pitching. He was a good pitcher.
Guess who else is on that team? Stephen Gindy is their shortstop.
Wow.
How many
No,
games?
he's not.
Why?
He's not. Sammy Seruya is their
No,
shortstop.
wrong.
No,
That is
Sammy's-
incorrect.
yeah, Sammy's
Please
with
let
the
me
scores,
talk about
no?
the LBA roster so you have no idea
Honey,
what you're talking about.
Uri texted me yesterday saying Sammy Seruya joined. Oh, no, you're right.
RSK.
RSK. I'm sorry. I'm wrong. But either way, in RSK, he's playing shortstop in
That's fine.
Stevens now. Okay, man.
So Stevens playing shortstop, and then they had this guy. His name's Eliezer Tendler, who hit like 5-6 bombs last year over the fence.
this guy
This
Tendler's
kid
legit.
is real.
This guy's
I mean,
legit.
I tried recruiting him into the M&S league. He said he's not ready this year. He thinks he's going to play next year.
He told me that.
But I think he is.
The tall kid?
He's going to have a future in the
Tall,
SY
he's
leagues.
got a really
I
nice
think
swing,
he's going to
he's
be.
got a lot of
If I had to make a prediction, he's going to be in YMSL in 3-4 years. He has a really live bat and he's strong like an ox.
You were raving about this kid. I remember.
Huge, crazy
I
athlete.
faced him. He's got real pop. He's a real.
So
he's a
Edmund
real-
in the playoffs, I think he got a little
got a
bit
little-
under his skin.
Yeah, we got a little.
And you
bit.
got him out. I mean, you.
Is he not mentally strong?
No, I did full AB on him.
He'll
I
get there.
pointed
He's
at him
still
after we
young.
got him out. Like I went all over him.
Yeah, but
Maybe,
someone that
yeah.
someone that melts a little bit in these situations, you see a crack in the armor, those are the guys that people go all in on and lay into.
I was talking to this guy mid AB, literally like swing the bat.
So,
swing the bat.
you
Like,
think he'll survive
he-
against
he-
Saban? Are you crazy?
No. I mean,
Okay.
I mean,
but
I had we
He'll
listen, we
melt
got
like a candle.
Yeah, but he'll
we got
get a skin.
heated. We got heated, and I pitched him tough. Anybody that pisses me off gets the toughest pitcher.
Listen,
It's just
great
how it
talent
is.
always comes to the top.
Yep.
Great talent always comes to the top. I
Yeah,
think he's a
this kid's
gamer.
legit. This kid is legit.
Yeah, and then you have Sammy Seruya's team, who it's kind of a boys' team. I played with Sammy last year, but he wanted to go in the route this year of more of his boys and his cousins and his second cousins and third cousins and his friends from school. I'm like, okay, Sammy, I'm out. I love you. I'm out. Do it yourself. He was supposed to play in Tier 2. I think they boosted him back into Tier 1 because they didn't have enough teams. But he has a very solid team. He's still playing with Joey Cohen. He's playing with Poob. Poob is playing on that team. Poop, you're always going to get a couple of homers from him. I mean, he has legit power.
He's got pop.
Momo Levy's on that team playing center field.
They have guys.
They have guys.
And Charles Sutton playing third base.
They have guys.
They still have a good team.
You're making like they're disasters. They sound like they could
They're a
stack up.
disaster compared to the team we built last year. Like, they took 2 steps down.
Yeah,
And then they have Richard Levy on the mound. So how far is he going to get them
I mean,
in,
I know that's
in
time
a league that's
I
his
know
step?
that Sammy Seruya was upset at the pitcher rule that I made because he was happy to go with Richard Levy at the
Exactly,
mound. So
exactly.
that says speaks volumes of Richard Levy.
Yeah, I was ready.
I guess it does.
I was ready to ransom these guys, by the way.
Yeah. And they all ended up on Melek's team.
Anyway, I think that let's give me the matchups and tell me your predictions.
So I got to look up the matchups.
I didn't print those. Sorry.
I got it. Give me a second. Pull it up.
Are you slacking on me now? Oh, here we have it.
Yeah, the first matchup is us. We're playing. We're Premier Events. We're playing the His Place. This is a team. Give me the
You
shame.
want the sheet back again? Come on, Hank. I thought you were prepared. Jeez. Let me talk about the LBA rosters. Let me see the paper.
Is there a limit
Okay,
of how many
so this is a very Toronto-based team. I know this. The Nager. Yeah, the Nagers and those guys at Toronto.
Negros.
They were always a bottom feeder in the league.
The Negro League is such a
He's
racist.
the worst.
Yeah,
He's the worst.
The Negroes are the bottom feeders?
they're the bottom feeders.
Oh, you have your own issue with the littering, by the way. That's.
Oh, no, I
talk
stopped.
about that on my
I stopped.
That's disgusting.
Rabbi Miller talked about it that
did
week
stop.
in the paper, and I stopped.
Jack Abady told me, he's like,
I was
he heard
very
it.
not happy to
And
hear
he's
those
like, by the
words.
way, you know that Victor Miller just
Yeah.
spoke about it? I'm like, yeah, Sammy saw that, and he saw that as a Siman Shamayim that he should never
It's a true
literate.
story. It's a true story.
Yeah, so that's a Toronto team. I'm not very familiar with these guys. I know they have Nathan Batesh, Navy 3's on that team. So that's the guy that we have to be careful with. Is he going to have an on year? Is he going to have an off year? 2 years ago, he was
He
the
won
best in the
MVP.
league.
I love
Won
that.
He won the MVP
He won
by
MVP.
far a couple
Yeah.
years ago. Last year, he didn't show up. He was.
I remember 2 years ago, I awarded him. I gave him the plaque.
He was hitting moonshot after moonshot that year. That was
Right. So that matchup is happening tonight. That would be Monday night. Tuesday night is Nutty's team going up against the Goldberg Law Group.
This is all Hank's department.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on.
And,
Hank.
and those guys,
Hank, pick it up, man.
those guys are the guys that we played in the preseason game with Mutty Davis, who's a great pitcher.
Mutty.
Yeah, and
That's the picture that sees
Yes.
the bombs off of.
Yes.
yes, so
Yeah.
they have
Yeah.
Krieger, who was very upset that he was not invited back to MNS this year. Do you have something to say about that, Sam? Oh, I got you in an awkward spot.
Me and Krieger had a
Pretty
conversation. Me and Krieger, I mean, he did leave the broadcast I saw recently, but me and Krieger had a conversation. He should be upset, and I owe you one.
So they have a few familiar names. They have Aaron Enoch, who we love.
Enoch!
We love Enoch.
Time out. Enoch lives in
Which one?
Florida.
E-
Yes,
what?
Yes.
Enoch.
Yes, he lives in Florida now.
But he's on
Flying
this team.
back?
I don't know. Maybe he flies for softball.
No. He told me that he moved to Florida. Let me know if I'm in. I'll fly back for the games. I'm like, okay, Aaron Enoch.
He's gonna fly back for each game.
That's what he told me. Okay.
That's real dedication.
And they have a real shortstop, Shmuel Walken, who's awesome.
I know Walken.
He's
I try
good.
to get him for
He's
MLS.
a defensive guy.
Yeah.
Not a great hitter, but a really good
Slick,
defensive shortstop.
slick glove. Yeah.
Yep, and let's get to that final matchup. Is happening on Wednesday. That's between Bluestone Brokerage. That's Uri and Sims' team with Kleiman versus the Meaningful People on that Sammy Seruya's team. Predictions. So I think tonight we play this no-name team. I think
His place.
I think we're gonna get a mercy rule here.
Yep.
Even without Jimmy and without Soli, we're gonna beat these guys pretty good.
We have a good team,
I think.
I don't
we have
know.
a sick team.
Yeah, like I don't know the.
We have a really good team.
I don't know.
Salas
Looking
better
close.
be in that strike zone. Maybe I'll catch him. We'll see. But
Wow, wouldn't it suck if they pulled Sal for me tonight? That would really
ooh, that would hurt.
That would hurt.
That would hurt.
But I'm just kidding, Sal.
yeah.
Do your thing, buddy.
Yeah, and I think MBM versus Goldberg. I think MBM takes that game maybe in a mercy fashion as well. And then you have Bluestone versus Meaningful People. That's going to be a good matchup. Go down to the wire. I think Bluestone is going to take that game over Sammy Seruya and the Meaningful People. So that's your
LBA Roundup.
LBA.
Okay,
By the way, before you go on, love to see all these names in LBA. I actually love it. I love
A lot
to
of
see
familiar
it.
names. A lot of familiar names.
I mean,
a lot of
LBA is great.
Tier
future-
1A,
Yeah.
we called it,
Right.
does have talent.
Why not go play
A lot
with
of
your
talent.
boys and go to Gladbite after and enjoy? Why not? Look at
Why
that.
not?
It's beautiful.
I agree. By the
I
way,
feel like Tier 1A is not really that, though. I feel like Tier 1A, there's a lot of teams in Tier 1A that
They wanna
are
play.
built to win.
They wanna win.
They're
Yeah.
built to win.
Tier 1B
You wanna
is
go to Tier
Gladbite.
3 and Tier 2.
Tier 1B is Gladbite, the team.
Those are the Gladbite teams. Those are
can we
the...
not bash Gladbite post-game?
I
It
love
is
Gladbite. The
elite.
guys that go to
So
Bun,
good.
don't talk to me.
Right, you're
Gladbite
bun.
only.
What are you doing?
Going to
Seriously.
Bun?
Okay, that concludes the LBA talk.
Okay, what do we got? What's
I
next?
actually we forgot to do it last segment. I do like to give you my road rage rant. We did mention that my litter bug and now is no longer a thing, but this is something that's been bothering me. It's been bothering, I think, everybody in the community. We are in the golden age of Uber Eats, the golden age of Instacart. How in the right minds, and I'm talking to you, every single one of you, butchers and grocery stores, and charge $10 for delivery.
Down the block.
Down the block.
Down.
In Brooklyn, you call up a butcher, you call up $10 delivery. Bro, how does that make any sense? How does that make sense? You
It
should.
doesn't have to make sense.
People are spending thousands of dollars. Literally,
Sam.
a meat order is thousands of dollars. It should be free delivery.
Do you know that my mother is still buying her garbage bags and Fabuloso from Jerusalem Glad because they deliver it. They bring it to her house. She doesn't have to ask any questions. Yeah, they're
Instacart, my friend.
They're triple. There's no what Instacart is.
I'm just saying,
The
we are
old timers don't know what that is. So yeah, they're paying the price.
So they're taking
but it's
advantage of the old
convenience.
timers?
They're making one phone call.
Stop it! Stop
they're
it!
taking advantage of old timers.
Okay, that's what I want to hear.
100%.
They're taking advantage
They're
of
not
people.
expecting the young guns to place orders with $10 delivery fees.
There
It's not.
should, and by the way, in some instances, it's more than $10.
And you know what? They're not forcing you to do it. If you don't want to do it, walk down the block and get it yourself.
But it's just unfair to the mothers. Time out. The mothers that have young kids at home or babies at home. And
Just do Instacart.
they do, but I'm saying you're calling up. I'm not going to say names of establishments, but you're calling them. They should be just delivering it to you.
This is the Carpool Chronicles with Hank. You're not going to say names.
I have to say, I'm very confused. Do people buy softball gloves from Jerusalem Glad or something? How is this in the...
Anyway, so now the final segment of the show, our new edition, is whenever we have a guest in the car, we are going to allow uninterrupted.
Ooh.
Edmund, we're not allowed to respond. That's how the show's going to end.
Ooh.
You have the floor. Take however long you want. Go ahead.
First things first.
Last things last.
I absolutely love this show. I absolutely love watching it. It's great for my commute. I hope everyone thinks the same. I'm going to give a little recommendation to Sammy on something that I think would be very cool for the league that YMSL is doing right now. And I happen to say that I was very excited to go to Monmouth Cards and pick up a pack of YMSL softball cards. I mean, I'm opening up these packs. I actually got very lucky. I got a mini card of Allie Marshall, 1/1 signed by Allie.
Wow.
I also pulled the Alco 1/1 card. And I just think it's so cool. It's so cool. You know, people grabbing packs, looking for each other, trades going down. I think we should get that in M&S. I think it's a great idea. Yeah, I love it. I'm just remembering that you can't react, so you can't answer back. So I'll keep going. Something that I want to say that's been bothering me a lot is the umps. The umps have been very awful. I mean, Mike Russimano yesterday, I'm just going to say this just to get it off of my chest.
Mike listens to the show.
Mike Russimano listens to the show, but I'm going to say it anyways. I was in a big situation with Butchie. I had an 0-2 count, and I threw probably the nicest pitch that I threw in a long time. And Butchie didn't even swing. He looked at it, and he was like, oh boy. Mike Russimano went ball. What kind of nonsense is that? What kind of nonsense is that? And then you're going to come to me and tell me after that was a mistake? What kind of nonsense is that? I mean, you made the signal, and then what? And then he comes up next and he hits a freaking moonshot off me. Like, come on, man. That's just not fair. I love you, Mike Russimano. You know I love you so much, but not right. And next thing that I want to talk about is the Sephardic Bananas. I am so excited for this team. I just want to say I wanted Isaac Sasson and Allen. I wanted one of them. I got both. Why are you yawning?
There you go.
I wanted Richie or Zach. I got both. I wanted Noah or Jackie. I got both. Everybody's saying we don't have the bats. You watch. We are going to be explosive. Again, you guys probably don't see it because you need to see the big names with the big bats, you know. But Mo Haber and Joey Cohen, who are not known to be the greatest bats, had the biggest hits for me last year. Now, I'm not saying that that's what that's going to come down to, but it's softball, man. And you give these guys momentum and something they want to play for and something that they enjoy being at, they will strive. They will. And I can't wait. Sephardic Bananas, you guys have no choice but to get matching uniforms. Everybody has to get yellow pants with pinstripes. Albert Mastery, that's you included. So I actually put a poll in the chat and I wrote, which jersey do you want? Do you want yellow, navy? And I put on the bottom, I will not be matching jerseys with the rest of the team. And he filled out, I will not be. So you better be in that jersey. And I'm honored to be part of the show. I had a great time. Thank you, Sammy and Hank. And there's my 60-second segment.
Edmund, it's been real.
What a pleasure.
And the longest episode yet, 1 hour and 18 minutes. And we're going to close now with the jingle again, and then some sponsorship on the way. And we thank all you for listening, and we hope you all enjoy.
Everyone loves some juicy SY softball hecky. It will only happen on Chronicles with Hank.
Everyone's waiting for the next episode. It will only happen when we are in the car. Carpool Chronicles, Carpool Chronicles, Carpool Chronicles, Carpool Chronicles with Hank.
Deals is a high. Goodness, the heroics. Hank versus over. Hank the world.
How you doing? I'm Milo, Sutton, G&G Realtors. I support M&S Baseball League from before you're born. I'm here for commercial, residential real estate.
Introducing the UCEF Tab Card, a smart way to turn everyday spending into tuition support.